Hi everyone, welcome back. Our next video is our story problem. And looking at this picture, can anyone guess what our story problem is going to be about? Ms. Hernandez, what do you think the story is going to be about?
I think it's going to be about a duck family.
Yeah, really close. It's actually about ducklings, which is a duck family, but not the mom this time, just the little ducklings. So I'm gonna read the problem, and when I read, remember we always do a 3 reads protocol. The first time we read, we think about the story and what's happening in the story. The second time we read, we look at the number set and we decide what those numbers represent in the story. Then on the third read, we read it one more time to really consolidate the information and ask ourselves what we're being asked to solve. So here we go. Let me pull up the story problem. All right. One warm spring day, ducklings were swimming in a cool pond. They were having fun splashing and playing together. Then, ducklings wanted to dry off on the warm grass. How many ducklings are still in the pond? So, when you're ready, teachers, can you give me a thumbs up if you can explain what's happening in this story? And remember, friends, pause the video to really give yourself some think time if you need that. All right. Miss T, can you explain what's happening in the story today?
Well, it seems like some ducklings are in a pond and they were just having the time of their life, but then some of them got tired and wanted to go and dust off and get dry. So we're trying to find out how many are left in the pond.
Yes, exactly. So let's go to the story problem, and your story problem will be still on the first page. And here we see the story problem in words so that you can read them and go back to it whenever you need that reminder of what's happening in the story. So now we have our number sets: 47 and 18, 32 and 25, 15 and 17, 96 and 49. So does anyone want to pick a number set that we can use today? Ms. Rosales?
The first one, 47 and 18.
Perfect. So 47 and 18. And what we want to do is make sure that we plug in the numbers to each little dash so that we can read the problem with the numbers included. So we have 47 on the first dash and then 18 on the second. All right, so now, Ms. Rosales, would you mind reading the story problem for all of our friends at home?
No, I don't mind. One warm spring day, 47 ducklings were swimming in a cool pond. They were having fun splashing and playing together. Then 18 ducklings wanted to dry off on the warm grass. How many ducklings are still in the pond?
So now we need to think about what do the numbers represent in the story? So we have 47 and 18. What does the number 47 represent? Ms. Hernandez, what does 47 represent in this story?
The 47 represents the ducklings that are swimming in the pond.
So that's a lot of ducklings, and I think it must be a really big pond. Huge pond. That's so many ducklings. All right, and now that we have 18, what does 18 mean in this problem? Ms. Rosales, can you give us an idea?
Sure. The 18 are from that 47. 18 left the group to dry off.
Beautiful, and thank you for that clarification. So we know at first there were 47 ducklings, right? Playing, splashing, waddling, having fun in the pond. But then 18 left because maybe they were tired, like Miss T said. They were tired, they wanted to warm up, they got maybe bored, so they left. So now we're trying to figure out what do we need to solve? So I'm going to read the problem one more time, and I really want you to think, what are we being asked to do? One warm spring day, 47 ducklings were swimming in a cool pond. They were having fun, splashing and playing together. Then 18 ducklings wanted to dry off on the warm grass. How many ducklings are still in the pond? What are we being asked to do? Ms. T, can you tell us, what are we being asked to do?
Like the question says, it says how many ducklings are still in the pond. So we already know some left the pond. So now we want to figure out how many are still there.
Thank you. So right now, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to use 2 or more efficient strategies. I'll call on 2 teachers today, 2 efficient strategies of how to solve this problem. And friends at home, you can work alongside with us to really to practice your strategy and to see if you got it correctly while we're doing it. So that means you might need some more work time. So you can pause the video and to give yourself that time. All right, I see Miss T's ready. That's okay, Ms. Rosales, give yourself some more time. Miss Hernandez is ready.
You can go without me.
All right, so we'll start with Miss T. Miss T, can you share with us your strategy for solving the equation today?
Yeah, so I use the tens and ones strategy because I've never seen double digit subtraction in a long time. We've only been doing 2 digits minus 1 digit, and I just didn't want to get confused. So I drew my tens and ones again.
Mhm.
Yep. And then, so with my tens and ones, I drew 47. So 47 is 4 tens and 7 ones.
Mhm.
And then I'm subtracting, so I have to think about, okay, I need to make sure I'm crossing them out and not putting them onto the tens and ones chart. So I looked and I knew that my ones weren't going to be enough because 7 is less than 8. So what I did was I borrowed a 10 from the tens place and I made it into 10 ones. And again, I like to organize my 10 ones by drawing them so that they're in rows of 5. So it's easier for me to count and cross out. So then when I borrowed that, I took away 8 ones first. So I took away 8, 5 here and 3 here. And I couldn't forget that I had 110. It's not just minus 8, it's minus 18. So I also crossed out the one of the tens. And then I went and I circled what I had left over. So sometimes, boys and girls, we want to make sure that we're subtracting the whole tens and the ones place first before we figure out and count around how much we have left. So I had 9 ones left over and then 2 tens.
Mm. Wait, Miss T, I'm a little confused. Where did you get the 2 tens from again?
I borrowed one of the tens,
Mhm.
and then I made it into 10 ones. And then because I'm subtracting 18,
Oh,
I crossed out
yeah.
another 10.
Exactly. See, I got a little confused because I was still thinking about the ones that I think I still thought that we were doing single digit numbers. So we need to make sure that we're really thinking about this. And just like Miss T said, we need to remember that we've already crossed out this 10, right? So making that very clear. So I'm going to use red to show Miss T's thinking. She said she get 5, that's 5, and then 6, 7, 8. So she took away 8. And then after that, she showed us how many she had, and she had 8. She took away 8. So now she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones. But she remembered, and I forgot, that you still have a number in the tens place that you need to take away. So you need to take away 2 numbers. You're decomposing the first 10, and then you're taking away another 10 because that was what we were asked to do. So then there's only 2 tens left. So then she got 29. So boys and girls and friends at home, remember, we really need to be watching what we're doing because now we're transitioning to subtracting double digit numbers from a double digit number. So we're doing something new, so we need to take our time to really think about what we're doing. All right. Does anyone really want to show the second strategy that they have? All right, let's see, Miss Rosales, can you show us your strategy for us today?
Sure.
Ooh.
I know. So we started with, well, I started working towards friendly numbers. So if you notice, I have 47, take away 18. And I wanted to get into something that I'm comfortable with, which is that taking it in the 10 away. So I decomposed it to 37 and 10 right here. And then I decomposed my 18 to 10 and 8. So we know that because they're the same, I can cross this out.
Can you tell us more about that? How do we know we can cross it out?
Because 10, we have one 10 here and I have another 10 here. And so I take 10 minus 10 away, it's going to give me 0. So then I have 37 and 8 left over. And then I just went ahead and decomposed that number, 30 and 7. And then I decomposed that 8 to make it match 7 and 1. And then again, 7 minus 7 is 0. So I'm left now with 30 and 1, 30 minus 1. And I showed you a cloud right here showing you that I counted back. So now I have 29.
Wow, what a great strategy, Ms. Rosales. So you did the decomposing twice. So you realize that 37 can still be broken apart, and so can 8. We can decompose a number until maybe it gets to 1, and then we can't decompose it anymore. So I love that you use that strategy twice to really show your thinking. So then 30 minus 1, 30, 29. And then our answer is 29. So both of our teachers got the correct answer. And remember, we always want to do this 2 times because we want to check our answer. So the first time, we may not be sure if that's the correct answer, but if we do it a second time using a different strategy and we get the same answer, then we know we have to be correct, or we're closer to being correct than we were. So then our answer is 47 minus 19 equals 29. And if you can put it here, that would be great to write it down so you don't have to write the equation, the whole sentence all over. But if not, and if you want to write the sentence, you can write, now there are 29 ducklings still in the pond. And then you can move it around, put it right there, and show your beautiful math work. So remember, friends, we give you 4 number sets to work with, so you have an opportunity to use any of the other 3 number sets. We encourage you to use the other number sets and not the ones that we're doing because we did them together. Just like in class, you're not supposed to do the one that we do together. You want to challenge yourself to do something new. And then I'm also putting in a second worksheet that's the exact same story problem. You just need, you can do a different number set for that to really challenge yourself and practice different different strategies, right? So, and then you can compare which one was the most efficient strategy that you used out of the 4. And maybe they'll be different or maybe they'll be the same. So have fun doing this, and we can't wait to see all of your math work. Have fun, everyone.
Don't forget to subscribe.